Donald Trump is in full panic mode this morning, making post after post and calling an emergency press conference. You see, last night, the new Marquette National poll dropped. It was under embargo throughout the day, so we couldn't report on it. This is an A-plus top poll. It has Donald Trump down 8 in a three-way race, and it has Donald Trump down 6 in a two-way race outside the margin of error, and Vice President Kamala Harris continues to surge ahead. It is quite possible that this lead that Vice President Kamala Harris is building could be in double digits soon, as Donald Trump's campaign and the entire Republican Party is in full implosion right now. Also, the Cook Political Report has turned Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia from a leaning Republican state to a toss-up that could turn blue soon as well. Donald Trump is freaking out. So here is what he posted this morning. He goes, "I will be doing a general news conference at 2 p.m. at Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach. Thank you." Now, as Stephanie Grisham explains, Trump's self-announced press conference today at 2 p.m., he's panicking. I've seen this play many times. She worked with him. He thinks his team is failing him and no one can speak better or save his campaign, defend him, but him. He hates the coverage Vice President Kamala Harris is getting, and he thinks that he is the only one who can fix it. Just take a look at these post after post that Donald Trump made this morning. Starting very early, Donald Trump goes, "If Kamala has 1,000 people at a rally, the press goes crazy and talks about how big it was, and she pays for her crowd." No, she doesn't. "When I have a rally and 100,000 people show up, the fake news doesn't talk about it. They refuse to mention crowd size. The fake news is the enemy of the people." Actually, Donald, the news reports on the fake numbers of your crowd sizes. And we here at the MeidasTouch Network had to continually show that these were fake numbers by you and your MAGA supporters and MAGA politicians to inflate the numbers. Like when you went to Wildwood, New Jersey, and there was probably less than 10,000 people at that outside venue. How do we know less than 10,000? Because previously, the public administration officer for Wildwood said the entire venue only held like 10,000 people. So it couldn't be more than that. And then you can actually take a look at how many people were there. Then you claim there was 107,000 people there, when you claim there was 25,000 people in the Bronx. But there were like overhead photos where there's no more than like 2,000 or 3,000 people there. And Vice President Kamala Harris, meanwhile, she's actually drawing massive crowds of 50,000 people. And soon, guess what, Donald? She's going to be filling up stadiums, which you can't do, which is your worst nightmare. Donald Trump then posts, "We are living in a pro-criminal atmosphere. It will end on November 5th. If by pro-criminal atmosphere, I think you're describing the modern-day Republican Party that's gone full MAGA and has normalized a criminal like you leading it. Someone found liable for sexual assault like you, somebody who was Jeffrey Epstein's close friend like you, someone who's on video bragging about sexually assaulting women like you, someone who's on video who says the reason he purchased beauty pageants was to inspect girls naked like you, the person who is on Jeffrey Epstein's message log and flight log over and over again like you, the person who wished Ghislaine Maxwell, who trafficked for Epstein, well, like you." But I digress. That pro-criminal atmosphere, yeah, it seems to be you. Donald Trump then writes again, this is the whole morning, it's post. He goes, "I will expose Kamala during the debate the same way I exposed Crooked Joe, Hillary, and everyone else during debates. Only I think Kamala will be easier. DJT. Well, back on July 25th, your campaign canceled the debate. You had one scheduled for September 10th on ABC, and then you started calling George Stephanopoulos Slopadopoulos over and over again, and you said, I'm canceling the debate with Slopadopoulos. And then last week you said, okay, I'm only going to show up on Fox on this date, and you're the one who's Mr. Anytime, Anywhere, Anyplace. You canceled the debate. I mean, here's your statement right here. Trump campaign statement on general election debates, July 25th, 2024. You write, and your campaign writes, given the continued political chaos surrounding crooked Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, general election debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. There is a strong sense by many in the Democrat Party, namely Barack Hussein Obama, that Kamala Harris is a Marxist fraud who cannot beat Trump, and they are still holding out for someone better. Therefore, it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris because Democrats very well could still change their minds. And then when your campaign was called out for this and the use of the word like Hussein and all the racist dog whistles, then your campaign spokesperson said, you idiots all fell for the trap. Hussein was trending and mentioned on cable news throughout the night. Thanks for doing our jobs cucking his announcement this morning, morons. Whatever that means. Then you gave an interview with Laura Ingraham where you were asked why you're not going to debate. And your response was because the people know everything. Play the clip.
I want to do a debate, but I also can say this. Everybody knows who I am, and now people know who she is. She's a radical left lunatic. She'll destroy our country. She wants open borders.
And why not debate her?
Well, wait. But because they already know everything.
And even though you are losing in the polls, when you were asked by Laura Ingraham why not debating, you said because you're leading in the polls. Again, a lie. Play the clip.
Do you regret doing the debate when you did the debate? It gave the Democrats an opportunity to swap him out and put her in. Such an early debate.
They wanted a debate. If I didn't do the debate, they'd say, oh, Trump's, not doing the debate. That's the same thing they'll say now. I mean, right now I say, why should I do a debate? I'm leading in the polls. And everybody knows her. Everybody knows me.
Next up, Donald Trump posts the following. By the way, all these posts are this morning. Post. Emergency press conference. Post. Donald Trump posts the following. Questions swirl around Walz's military service record. Really, Donald? You're questioning Governor Walz's military service record? He's someone who served with distinction for 24 years, the highest ranking member of the military serving in Congress. You're questioning his military record when you dodged Vietnam by lying about bone spurs over and over again. You're questioning Governor Walz's record when you go on Howard Stern and talk about how your Vietnam was avoiding STDs or purportedly. Here, play this clip.
You got to say to a woman, hey, listen, you got to go to my personal doctor and I'm going to have you checked out. Is that a tough thing to say to a woman, or you just got the balls to say it?
I'll tell you, it's amazing. I can't even believe it. I've been so lucky.
Right.
In terms of that whole world.
You've never gotten a social disease.
It is a dangerous world out there. It is scary. It's like Vietnam, sort of like, the Vietnam era.
It is your personal Vietnam, isn't it?
It is my personal
It is. You've
Vietnam.
said that many
I feel
times.
like a great and very brave soldier.
A lot of guys who went through Vietnam came out unscathed. A lot of guys who've gone through the 80s having sex with different women came out with AIDS and all kinds of things.
They survived Vietnam.
This is better than Vietnam.
Also, Donald Trump, same thing this morning, posting this, that the great Dana White is in South Dakota, loves the people, and so do I. And it's just a photo of like a knife with Donald Trump's face on it. Oh, that's not trying to incite violence, is it? I mean, having just a random photo of a knife. Then Donald Trump posts, Kamala refuses to do interviews because her team realizes she's unable to answer questions, much like Biden was not able to answer questions, but for different reasons. He is just plain shot, and she is just plain incompetent. Her policies of open borders no fracking or drilling for oil in any way, shape, or form, transgender, anything anti-Israel but gross incompetence towards getting anything done for Palestinians, no clue on inflation or the economy, unlimited money to fight foreign wars, and so much are catastrophic, and he puts that in all caps. If she is elected, our country and indeed world will suffer a 1929-style Great Depression. It will be the worst in history of America. America will be destroyed. You know, this is the oldest trick in the book, right? For 2,000 years, demagogues do this. And with the joy Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz are bringing, speaking to the people the way they are, and running a highly effective campaign, it's just being more and more exposed. All Donald Trump wants to do in these MAGAs, they want to divide us. Why? They want to implement Project 2025. They want to help their billionaire class. And the way they do that's pitting Americans against Americans. So they try to take our symbols, the American flag. They try to take words like patriot, and they try to weaponize it to divide we the people and scare us and to make us feel fear. I don't want to feel fear. I want to feel joy and optimism. I want to work with my fellow Americans to build a better future. That's what Americans are saying right now and right at this moment as Donald Trump continues to whine and whine and whine. Then Donald Trump posts this. Notice it's an opinion piece by his propagandists. Like, it's not actually news, so he has people write this opinion, and then where things aren't opinion. There's facts, not opinions. Here's what Donald Trump posts. The left's $7 trillion lie. Biden far outpaces Trump in racking up the national debt. Just like objectively false. And Donald Trump added more debt to our country than anyone before, and Donald Trump set the stage for inflation, because that's what happens when you recklessly print money and add $8 trillion of debt. By the way, you don't have to just listen to me say that. Why don't we listen to what other Republicans had to say about that? Here, play this clip.
And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now.
By the way, you think Donald Trump's done posting? Nope. Post after post. Then he goes, the election is about the economy, inflation, open borders, respect for our nation, preventing World War III and a 1929-style depression. That's what he writes. Then he reposts this from Stephen Miller. New lawsuit to stop illegal alien voting. We just sued Maricopa County, Arizona, for refusing to remove illegal aliens from their voter rolls ahead of the election. Just like all false stuff. Just like make up lawsuits against things that aren't even happening in Arizona. In a conservative area, by the way. And by the way, Donald Trump, as you know, he praises Vladimir Putin of being this military genius. You know, by the way, not only is Russia now only the second strongest army in Ukraine, it's the second strongest army in Russia, because Ukrainian forces have taken over the Kursk region inside of Russia, or have engaged in skirmishes back and forth. And in the Kursk Oblast, you have, formerly Russia, tons of Russians surrendering right now to Ukraine, ceding actual territory that was previously in Russia to Ukraine, as Ukraine continues to actually gain momentum here, finally, after President Biden was able to get them the weapons that they need. I want to read you this comment, finally. From this account. The thing about when Trump isn't campaigning is that he's living in a business that charges people a six-figure membership fee just for access to him. The most corrupt thing any ex or current president has ever done. He's wholly normalized it so much that it never even gets pointed out. To which someone else commented, upon taking office, he doubled the membership fees and started calling his club the Winter White House, then holding official state events there, obviously selling access. Recall his golf course charged U.S. taxpayers over $60 million in golf cart fees for Secret Service. He's a grifter, and we are the mark. Once again, take a look at that Marquette National poll. A+, that's what's causing Donald Trump to freak out the way he is this morning. We'll keep you updated with more here on the MeidasTouch Network. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.